In this video, we're giving you an ultimate guide to Las Vegas. This video is a long one, but we've divided up the coverage areas into chapters, and you can see a complete index in the description below if there's any specific parts you'd like to focus on. Or sit back and enjoy this extensive guide to Vegas. Chapter 1 Shows. Vegas is the show capital of the world, and here we're going to give you a quick glimpse into some of the offerings. First in our list today is Piano Man, which is currently playing at the V Theater in the Miracle Mile Shops at Planet Hollywood. If you saw the national tour of the Broadway musical Moving Out, then you'll recognize Kyle Martin as the Piano Man from that tour. If you're in the mood for a melody, then Martin's tribute to Billy Joel will have you feeling alright. And Martin's tribute to Elton John has all the flair of electric boots and mohair suits that you'd expect. While this show is currently packing the V Theater, I wouldn't be surprised to see it moving out to one of the larger theaters in town. So be sure to catch it while you can in this intimate space at an incredible value price. For our second show, we move a little south on the Strip for MJ Live, which is currently playing at the 800-seat main showroom at the Tropicana. Of course, tentative plans have that property shutting down sometime in 2025 for a complete rebuild, including an MLB ballpark, along with a new casino resort. So, assuming those come to fruition, this show may be moving homes, but I have no doubt it will be sought after by other resorts if and when that time comes. So, let's take a couple of quick looks into the show. If I had to describe MJ Live in one word, I'd say thriller. The show recaps many of Michael Jackson's hits from across the years, and I definitely would recommend this show. Before we move on though, one more quick word about the performer. Not only is Santana Jackson an excellent tribute artist, but there were a few times that he broke character for interaction with the audience. And these were genuine, not about me moments, but ensuring that all in the audience were thoroughly enjoyed. For example, on the night that we attended, there was a little girl in the first row by the stage, and a couple of times he broke character to copy her dance moves and interact with it. Santana Jackson's confident enough in his ability to bring the entire audience back when he popped into character, and brings the full audience back into the immersive Michael Jackson experience. So you should be sure to check this one out, whether it's still at the Trop or wherever it may be playing when you watch this video. Next, we move to the Flamingo at the center of the Strip to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race Live. The show runs in the 700-seat main showroom at the Flamingo, and I've had the chance to see a few different shows in this venue and think it's a great room with a classic Vegas feel. A mix of tables and booths. I personally prefer the round booths on the back row. They're comfortable and still give a great view of the stage. Now, I'm a complete newbie to this type of show. Had a wonderful time, but I wanted to bring in an expert to give their opinion on the quality of the show itself. So I'm pleased to welcome in my good friend from Drag by the Numbers channel here on YouTube. Now, prior to seeing this show, I hadn't seen any of the episodes of any of the programs in the television franchise. So how does this show stack up to the series?
Hey, so first, I just want to say thanks for having me. Super excited. Big fan of visiting Vegas and all of your videos that you've got out. But yeah, as far as the show goes, I think that what a lot of times us viewers forget is that these queens that are performing are doing a lot of different things that might not necessarily be in their wheelhouse. A lot of things they might not be specializing in. The Drag Race show in Vegas gives the girls an opportunity to do what they do best. And it gives the fans an opportunity to see them doing something that they're comfortable doing, right? So I think it's a good opportunity for, if you have followed the show, if you are brand new coming in, if you support your local drag artist and you're trying to get a chance to see the show, I think it's good for all audiences.
All right, so overall, I'd say this show is definitely worth seeing, but for super fans out there, what's your advice?
Oh, absolutely, definitely see it. I think it is a great experience. You will absolutely not regret it.
Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Take that down to Las Vegas shit. Get your ass out of here.
Now next, we move a little bit north on the Strip to Senor Frogs at Treasure Island. Here, we're considering the drag brunch at Senor Frogs. Now first, about the room. The room's very shallow, but very wide, which means that only about 20% of the tables are in front of the stage. And with the majority of seats, you'll be sitting to the side of the stage, with stage views ranging from partially to fully obstructed. However, the performers do an amazing job coming off stage and engaging the audience, and there are a handful of screens throughout where you can see a live video feed anytime that your view is obstructed. So before we let our expert go, I want to get Drag by the Numbers to provide their thoughts on the drag brunch at Senor Frogs. Again here, my impression was good for the buffet, good drinks, and an enjoyable time, but what's your opinion of the show?
Yeah, so I think that drag brunch is a little bit different than going to see a venue like a big production number. I think that this is something that most of the girls are used to doing in their home bars on the weekends. And so you get a chance to see some of your favorite fans, favorite queens that you're used to seeing on television. You might even discover some new favorites. So for me in particular, there were a few of the queens in this cast that I'd actually met before, ones that I've seen on television for years and years, but there were a few that I'd never gotten a chance to hear from before, never had really discovered them. So the host of the show, for example, was a new queen that I'd never heard of. And so I think it gives fans an opportunity to find a new queen to be able to support, but then it also gives the queens an opportunity to showcase kind of what they do, the way that it's kind of normal for them, you know, just in a bar, a bunch of people, you've got some tables, you know, you've got a stage. This is something that's very familiar for most of these queens, and so it gives them an opportunity to bring their talents to a brand new audience.
All right, so now's the tough question. If our audience is visiting Vegas and only has time to do one, which would you recommend? RuPaul's Drag Race Live or the drag brunch at Senor Frogs?
Oh no, I think if you've only got time to choose one, you've planned your vacation wrong. I definitely think that you need to see the show at the Flamingo, and I think if you get a chance, you absolutely need to be able to see Senor Frogs. I think it's important to support your local drag queens. I think it's important to be able to see them however you can, and support their shows, right? I don't think a lot of people realize that drag is expensive. And so when it comes to these performers, and that's what they are, they're performers, you know, the costuming, the wigs, the production numbers, dancers, everything that's included. A show like Senor Frogs doesn't happen without people being able to support the show, people being able to tip the queens or even the drag kings, being able to tip the performers that are performing. So I say make time for both. You get two completely different experiences and you don't want to miss either one of those.
All right. Well, thanks for lending us your expertise. Folks, I encourage you to visit Drag by the Numbers and their channel here on YouTube. The expertise and the previews they offer insight that you simply can't find anywhere else. I'll put a link to the channel in the description box below. Next on our list, we take it to the South Strip at the Luxor. We're here for America's Got Talent Live. AGT Live plays in the 1,200-seat theater at the Luxor. It's a big show with a rotating cast and has a variety of performance types, so this show has something for everyone. If you've seen the television show, or like me have seen bits and pieces over the years, then there's certainly someone that you'll recognize, and you'll discover new favorites from versions of the show from around the world. This one again earns the Visiting Vegas stamp of approval, and it's definitely worth your time. We move back a little bit closer to the center of the Strip to the MGM Grand for our next show. For this show, we're evaluating Ch, which plays in the 1,950 seats at the Ch Theater inside of the MGM Grand. Ch is one of the Cirque du Soleil mega productions in Vegas. It cost $165 million to develop and has been running since 2004. So, first, about the theater. Absolutely incredible. 15 stories from the highest point of the ceiling to the lowest floor level, 7 lifts and platforms for the stage, including a 50-ton deck that rotates 360 degrees and tilts from flat to vertical. With a pair of speakers inserted into every seat in the house, the sound is targeted and is incredible. Seeing the theater itself is worth the price of admission. Then there are the performers, who combine amazing athleticism and grace, and the show. I really wanted to like this show, but after about 15 minutes of spectacle, I honestly would have been okay if they dropped the curtain and called it a night. Would have been totally worth it. But to me, the show's story dragged along a little, and it felt like we're watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, it felt a lot like watching Power Rangers. It's very high-end, and it's much better staging, but it's Power Rangers. The show's been seen by nearly 5 million people at this point, so there has to be something I'm missing. So if you've seen the show and think that I'm uncultured swine, then please tell me why in the comments below. If you decide to see the show after watching this, please come back and comment. I really wanted to like the show. I love the big budget Vegas staples, and I'm a big fan of the MGM Grand. But for now, this one earns a maybe as far as our recommendation goes. Next, we're moving a little bit off the Strip to the Orleans for Friends the Musical. This show's never stuck in second gear. It's a race through all the greatest hits of the series, and the show was on a break like Ross and Rachel for a bit. We first saw the show a few years ago when it was at the D, where a restaurant now sits. Then it was scheduled to be at the small theater at Paris when COVID emerged and Caesars ultimately pulled the plug on shows in the smaller space, and now it's playing at the Orleans. The show runs approximately 90 minutes and includes 2 acts, a 5-minute intermission, and it races through spoofy highlights from all 10 seasons of the show. Both aficionados of the show and newbies can enjoy it with everyone in between. Its new home at the Orleans is a small black box theater. Not the roomiest, but great that it's back in town. Definitely worth a visit, and we hope this show will continue to be there for you for years to come.
All sing, say right. All sing, what you have done. All sing, say right. All sing, what you have done. Oh, you made me love you, and now everything's gone. That's what I'm saying. Because you can't leave behind like a strange on the fire. Because your life I'm always got I would burn up.
I've seen the All Shook Up show numerous times, and it never disappoints. Let's take another look into the show.
Baby, see it once, that will be the same again. Gonna keep on going, gonna have a some fun, 'cause we love very last night. And the water was flowing, the whole world never left, and a swinging time. Ooh, I'm gonna give it everything I got. Ready to believe, but it goes out and be hot. Here we go. People in Las Vegas, sing it out loud. I can't hear you. One more time. People in Las Vegas. Thank you very much.
Folks, I highly encourage you to see this show. Whenever we've brought friends to town, we've taken them, and they've all loved it. After all, what's more quintessentially Vegas than an Elvis show? And if you're going to go, you might as well see the best.
Long ago, in a time known as the 90s, a dragon once thrilled audiences in the land of Las Vegas. But then a corporate tsunami washed over the strip, and expensive street-side shows that didn't directly generate revenue quickly started moving towards extinction. Even today, vibrant, erupting volcanoes are turning into hard rocks. But then a new hero emerged after conquering the lands of Penn and Teller's Fool Us in 2011. And America's Got Talent in 2015, a new magic dragon known by the name of Piff emerged and found a home in Las Vegas. Mr. Magic Dragon's been at the Flamingo since 2015. He moved to the main showroom in October 2020 to allow for social distancing, as everyone knows you can't put a paper mask on a mythical fire-breathing beast. In late 2021, he signed a new 3-year contract, and the show settled in at the main showroom, delighting guests Thursday through Monday. Why aren't guests delighted on Tuesdays and Wednesdays? They, of course, receive a rather mediocre show on those days. Or the show is currently dark on Tuesday and Wednesday, but that's okay. Because through the powers that only a magical dragon can possess, Piff manages to make 7 nights of entertainment appear within only 5 nights of shows. Recently, I had the chance to see the show in its new home on the big stage of the Flamingo, and it's an incredible combination of magic and comedy that I highly recommend. So, who should see the show? Well, if you like dragons, magic, to laugh, to be entertained, if you like miniature magic dragons that look surprisingly like chihuahuas in dragon suits, like to be astounded, amused, want to see a genuine Vegas showgirl, or if you like having access to a good bar, like puppies, or appreciate cold air conditioning when it's 200 degrees outside, if any of these apply to you, you should definitely see the show. If none of these apply, what exactly are you doing in Vegas?
Last on our list today is at Horseshoe for Potted Potter. This unauthorized spoof fits all of Harry Potter into a 2-person 1-hour show. Now, I haven't read the first word of the books, haven't seen any of the films. Oh no, that makes you an H.R. pup and stuff, possibly. But we went with a group that ranged from me to experts, and the experts weren't huge fans. I thought the concept was cute, but really didn't have anything to base it upon. The audience was full of kids that seemed to enjoy it though. So my ultimate recommendation, if you have kids with you, it may be worth dropping in. Otherwise, probably pass.
Chapter 2, we turn our attention to a couple of sporting venues in Vegas. Today we're going to take you on a tour of the Las Vegas Ballpark. Las Vegas Ballpark is located in Summerlin South, which is just west of Vegas and about a 20-minute drive from Center Strip. The $150 million stadium opened in 2019 and is home to the AAA Las Vegas Aviators, a Pacific Coast League. Total seating capacity is about 10,000 for the stadium, which includes 8,200 seats, 22 suites, 400 club-level seats, as well as 350 party deck seats. It also features a pool, kids zone, and several bars. The nearly 4,000 square foot video board's the largest in the minor leagues and larger than 6 major league ballparks. We've got mascots for the kids and the coolest bat retrievers in all of baseball. There's plenty of food and drink options located throughout the ballpark, and things are relatively inexpensive as Vegas prices go. Let's take you on a tour of the ballpark, and as we do, one more pro tip. If you're attending an Aviators day game, infield rows T or higher start out in the shade of the overhang. Welcome folks, today we're going to take you on a tour at T-Mobile Arena where we can find out how good is the worst seat for a Vegas Golden Knights game.
So the absolute best deal is what's called the Hat Trick Pack. It's only available for a handful of games over the course of the year, but for less than the price of a ticket, you choose upper bowl or lower bowl, pay a single fixed price without any added fees or taxes tacked on top of it, and you also receive a free drink as well as a free hot dog with your purchase. Now the catch is, you don't get a chance to pick your exact seat, you're just picking the upper bowl or lower bowl, and those tickets are only released 2 or 3 days before the event actually occurs. So essentially you're getting the least desirable seats available in the section. So that's how we reached our metric here. We chose the upper bowl, and let's see what the view is from the worst seats in the Vegas Golden Knights house. If you hadn't been to a VGK game before, one of the things that's unique is you look down here during the warm-ups, there's the showgirls. We go down to the other end. Wait, not on this end, but it's back. Maybe they're just here to welcome the visiting team. It's definitely not an issue of distraction that might give the home team an advantage. And a winning goal in the final seconds. Same excitement, not guaranteed, but a good time definitely is.
Next for Chapter 3, let's look at a few big attractions. Today we're going to show you a part of Mandalay Bay that few see and most don't even realize exists. Mandalay Bay's sprawling 120-acre resort. If you were to think of a water feature at Mandalay Bay, you may think of the pool area or perhaps the Shark Reef Aquarium. But today, we're going to take you to the other side of the property to a free feature that's much less traveled. On the northeast corner of the property, next to Las Vegas Boulevard, is the Mandalay Garden. Let's enter from Las Vegas Boulevard and have a look around. Assuming you're not walking up from the boulevard, let's show you how to access the garden from inside Mandalay Bay. Follow the signs down to the exit by the baggage pickup area. Once outside, to your left, you'll see signs for the Valley of the Falls that will help guide you to the area. It's just a short walk under the covered walkway, where another sign guides you to turn right, and then you're there. Might not be as serene as the spa at Mandalay, but it's a nice little break nonetheless. The Bellagio Fountain Show is a staple on the Las Vegas Strip. And uniquely, it's choreographed to different songs. And so you could see the show 4-5 times during your trip and see a different show every time. It's not simply playing different music, but truly choreographed to each of the songs. The shows run frequently, but they are subject to change. And so you definitely want to check out the Bellagio website before your trip to find out exactly when the show will be running. So let's go ahead and take a watch of this version of the Fountains of Bellagio. Check out these ducks. They are so over it. They're all, what's everybody looking at? This happens here all the time. Today, a full version of the Mirage Volcano Show. First, the recommendation. Should you see it? Absolutely yes. This is one of the few remaining strip-side Vegas spectacular shows that is 100% free. The Dragon no longer patrols at Excalibur, and the pirates no longer fight at Treasure Island. So this, along with the Bellagio fountains, they're the last remaining ones. The show currently runs nightly at the top of the hour from 7 to 11 p.m. However, before you take your trip, be sure to consult the Mirage website, as these times do change throughout the year and they decrease the number of shows at slower times. Chapter 4, we take a look at a few of our favorite bars.
I don't wanna grow up.
If you ever were a kid, which should be most of us, then today we're going to take you to a place you'll want to visit. A grown-up-ish playground known as Gold Spike in downtown Las Vegas. Gold Spike's a one-of-a-kind bar and nightlife venue featuring oversized interactive games, uniquely programmed special events, and great music. It's located in downtown Las Vegas, just a block from the Fremont Street Experience at Ogden and 4th, right behind Neonopolis. On its own, the indoor area is very nice, and it features a great bar, plenty of seating options, and a handful of games. But what really sets Gold Spike apart is the backyard. The 24/7 playground has everything you need to be a kid again. The spacious area includes giant Jenga, beer pong, and octopong, unique seating options, Foursquare, both giant and standard cornhole, a giant chessboard, ping pong, giant beer pong, which we'll get back to in a minute, shuffleboard, filled with giant Legos, play hopscotch or twister, and perhaps my favorite game in the backyard, giant beer pong. Is our next location, the Nerd. The Nerd has a great selection of retro video games, including a first edition NBA Jam. Can I get a boom shakalaka? Props, including a video viewing area along with a great bar. And 6 lanes of bowling. Woo. This guy enjoyed it so much he never left. So today we're headed to yet another hidden little gem over here at the Mob Museum. Let's show you where it's at. Originally the federal building built in 1933, in the basement is the underground speakeasy with its own distillery. Simply look for the barrel, go around downstairs to the green door.
Password?
Now you gotta know the password, which changes each week, but fortunately it is available on their website. Let's take a look around. Our second stop's at Mandalay Bay, just atop the escalators for the shops at Mandalay Place. This one is 1923 Prohibition Bar. The sign at top, well, that's definitively not speakeasy, but the barrel and the bookcase entrance is. Let's take a peek.
starting out at the Vegas Brewery Row. Brewery Row is a growing area that currently features 6 breweries, a couple of tap rooms that support local breweries, and a few other watering holes as well.
So we're starting our tour today at Abel Baker Brewing. Let's take a look at the first flight.
Abel Baker's a neat place, great local beers, and for the non-beer drinkers in your party, there's a full bar as well.
So for our next stop on the tour, we're going to go just a block down away from the Strat. Next on our list is Nevada Brew Works.
More great choose-your-own-adventure flights at Nevada Brew Works.
As you see, we're leaving Nevada Brew Works. Next door is Huddle Brewing, where we're going to finish the night, but they have trivia there later tonight. So we're going to take a step just a block away to the Voodoo Brew House.
Outdoors, when the weather's cooperative, a very nice area to hang out.
So Voodoo Brewing is kind of small inside. There is the very nice outside aspect to it. This place just opened in December of 2023. I would look to see them expanding in the near future. If you're in the area, it's a hidden gem, definitely worth visiting. So for our last stop of this crawl, we're just a few short steps away from Voodoo and right next door to Nevada Brew Works at Huddle. Now here, we're not only going to sample the beer, but they've got a trivia night every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. That, of course, the phone will not be recording at that time because it'll be out of view, but we'll let you know how things turn out.
Good selection, good food. Unfortunately, they'll run you out at trivia time if you don't have a reservation. 2 other quick reviews for you. You may have come across Royal Crawl. Royal Crawl is an app-based experience where for a flat fee, you get 5 drinks at 5 different establishments. And there's currently a crawl both for Fremont Street as well as in the Link Promenade area. The Fremont Crawl is well worth it. Simply present the app at each of the designated stops and order whatever you like. A good time and a good guided stroll, as well as a good deal with the app. Link, on the other hand, I was seriously disappointed. Most places had a very limited selection of drinks you could order, or you could use the drink credit that you paid somewhere between $12 and $20 for in exchange for a $5 credit towards the drink you would like. And so I would definitely pass on the Link version of this crawl. Chapter 5, we turn our attention to other activities in Vegas.
To infinity and beyond!
Today we're going to take you to the Strat for the sky jump experience. Let you know exactly what to expect and if it's worth your while. So first, let's get a size comparison. The Statue of Liberty, if you include her base, the tip of her torch rises 305 feet. The Space Needle in Seattle, 605 feet, or maybe you're more familiar with the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, which rises to 630 feet. But the Strat, 1,149 feet, it dwarfs all, as it's the tallest freestanding observation tower in the U.S., which is definitely enough for thrill junkies still to enjoy this attraction. The sky jump's been in operation since 2010, and it is incredibly safe. There are redundant safety checks while you're on the ground, and again, redundant safety checks while you're up top as well. There's double attachments, 3 total cables, you're good. Let's take you on a walkthrough so you know exactly what to expect once you're up top. You're going to go through a couple more safety checks, step out to the ledge, turn back for one more quick photo, and then they'll run you through the procedure.
Put your right hand on that red rail, left hand on this one over here, toes on the edge, Okay. And wait for myself. 3, 2, 1, go.
And you are falling with style.
I wanted to land on the bullseye. Oh, man, I need to get Yeah, no worries.
I
Hey,
did it.
that was fun. You should definitely do it.
No, I'm good.
So what's the ultimate verdict? Should you do it? Well, we went with a group of 4. Some of us may have been a little nervous. We're a little nervous. Probably shouldn't have went last. But immediately after our jumps, here's the feedback.
So, you were the most scared. Result?
Fantastic. Would do it again.
Most looking forward to it?
Oh, absolutely. Super looking forward to it. Would absolutely do it again. Like, what y'all don't know is that we're actually getting ready to jump up now and do it without the harnesses.
Loved it. I would do it again. Lots of fun.
And as soon as I change my shorts, I'll get back. Today we're just across the street from Mandalay Bay at the Pinball Hall of Fame. Let's take a tour inside. Whether you love pinball, arcade games, history, museums, or just inexpensive fun, the Pinball Hall of Fame's a place you should visit. This nonprofit organization moved to the Strip in 2021 and is located next to the Welcome to Vegas sign. There's no admission fee, there's no parking fees, and unlike most museums, these displays aren't locked in cases, but you get a chance to play the exhibits. Older games are just a quarter, and newer games are just 50 cents. They feature games from the 1930s to present, which means if you're between the ages of 0 to 100, there's definitely nostalgia from your childhood here and many things you've never seen before. There's even prototypes that were never actually developed. It's an absolutely incredible collection. Just pinball games, but they have various types of games from a variety of eras. And this one's one of my personal favorites, a 1921 YouTube, if you will. You get to see the 4th round knockout where Jack Dempsey defended his World Heavyweight Championship.
This large building has high ceilings and you never feel cramped. It's an overall great environment and a great experience.
That's a good one. Save for posterity.
You want a mulligan for the swing video?
If you're planning to golf and money is no object, then play at the Wynn. If you've watched the match the last couple of years, you've seen this gorgeous course featured. But it can cost up to $600 for a single round. So if money is an object, then I've got the tips for you. In this video, I'll show you how two people can play a week's worth of golf in Vegas for less than the price of a single green fee at the Wynn.
Here's a quick breakdown of the tourist rates for each of the times that we played the courses in this video. The grand total for two people comes in below our $600 target. I mentioned tourist rates because the courses featured in this video have locals rates that average 25% below the tourist price, but since the majority of our viewers are from outside of Vegas, we want to focus on what it'll actually cost you to play. With these courses, we focus on executive courses. Throughout the week, there are only a total of 16 par 4s, and they're an average of 346 yards long, which means that you can easily play these courses with just a bag of irons. When traveling by air, I use a Samsonite hard-sided case, and while it'll hold a traditional bag, shoes, and balls, etc., you can also fit 2 Sunday bags with complete sets of irons, pair of shoes, and a couple boxes of balls and still be under the 50-pound weight limit that most airlines have. And so it's an efficient and effective way to travel with a couple sets of clubs. Of course, if you don't want to travel with your clubs, rental club options are available. You can play all the courses featured in this video renting clubs for a total of $119. Today we're at Desert Willow in Henderson. Desert Willow has been named one of the top 10 executive golf courses in America and best executive golf course in Las Vegas, amongst other honors. Water comes into play on a few holes, with the par 4 9th hole rewarding accuracy the most. With tourist rates ranging from $30 to $41, Desert Willow snags our rating as the best golf value in Vegas. Desert Willow is a beautiful course. It's both playable and challenging for golfers of all levels. Couple that with an excellent pace of play, and Desert Willow is a must-visit course for your trip to Vegas. Let's look a little more around the course. Today we're at Durango Hills. Durango Hills is a par 58 course that plays to a men's rating of 59.1 with a slope of 100. Tourist rates range from $30 to $47. Let's take a look around the course.
most significant hazards are the rough and the traps.
So if you're not used to playing desert golf, not uncommon is the way that the rough is structured here. You'll see the rough is pretty gravelly throughout, and so highly punitive. It places a significant premium on finding the fairways.
Water comes into play a little on number 9, and then more significantly on number 10. There are lots of birdies to be had on this course. Durango Hills is a good course, but a notch below Desert Willow in my opinion. Pace of play can be a little slow, but it's still a worthwhile visit.
So overall, a fun course and a good value, but the sand traps, while they look good from a distance, they are gravel, and so you definitely don't want to play your ball out of those. So today we're at the Eagle Crest Golf Course in Summerlin.
In terms of quality, Eagle Crest is a close match for the Desert Willow course we began with. A little pricier, but still a good value as Vegas courses go. Here you can see the proximity to the Strip as you look down into the valley from Eagle Crest. A par 60 with a course rating of 60.5 from the blue tees for men and a slope of 97. Absolutely beautiful views and great course conditions. Water comes into play on a few holes, and accuracy is definitely rewarded throughout the course. And some massive, well-maintained sand traps that I got a little too familiar with. Our next round takes us to Angel Park. Angel Park's a massive facility that features 2 traditional 18-hole Arnold Palmer design courses and a large practice facility. It also includes 2 other options that we'll play for this video, the Cloud 9 and Divine 9 courses. The Cloud 9 course features 12 holes, 9 of which are playable under the lights for night play. Each of the greens are replicas of some of the most famous in golf, including the postage stamp from Royal Troon and the island green from TPC Sawgrass, amongst others. The Divine 9 putting course features 9 real grass holes, and you can play twice for an 18-hole experience. It's a mini golf experience like none other. Convenience, coupled with the ability to play after dark, make the Cloud 9 and Divine 9 great options for your trip. So today we're at Topgolf Las Vegas, just behind MGM Grand. Topgolf Las Vegas is the flagship property for the chain. Along with downrange views of the Strip, the venue features all of the virtual courses and games like Angry Birds that you may be familiar with from other Topgolf locations. As it is Vegas, this Topgolf is over the top in terms of amenities. Let's take a peek around. Here, we're walking along the 3rd floor where you have multiple bars and lounges. There's an area for playing cornhole and a multi-floor video wall. At the end of the 3rd level, you have VIP bays, as well as a swimming pool with yet another huge television. Up to the 4th floor, and you have an infinity pool and other amenities. Before we get back to the courses, we have one more off-the-course golf experience. For this round, we ventured to Kiss Mini Golf, which is located at the Rio. You enter through an arcade area that includes many Kiss-themed games, and then get to the Monster Mini Golf Course. Whether you're a member of the Kiss Army or just enjoy a little time in the air conditioning, it's a fun experience that you can add to the evening after a round at a local course. There's a sister property with a Twilight Zone theme on the Strip at Bally's, which is currently rebranding to Horseshoe Casino.
Final round is at Las Vegas Golf Center, the south of the Strip.
Las Vegas Golf Center features a nice indoor bar area with a stage for performances. Outdoors is a practice range with rather unique targets. And of course, the 9-hole course that we will play today. It's located on Las Vegas Boulevard just off the south end of the airport, which means that if the wind is out of the north, you get quite an overhead show during the course of your round. Here, we're on the first tee, and you can see the proximity to Las Vegas Boulevard. That makes this an extremely convenient course. There's even a stop for the deuce if you want to ride a bus from your downtown or Strip hotel.
Number 4, playing as a bit of a challenge today. We got constant 25-mile-an-hour winds with 40-mile-an-hour gusts coming left or right. You gotta fly it up to stick it.
At the north end of the course, you can see the proximity to this set of runways at the Vegas airport. To get a feel for the location here, you can see Mandalay Bay and the start of the Strip just a little north of the property. Here's a beautiful hole with the Strip in the background. It illustrates the challenges of this course. While the holes play an average of 137 yards long, there's plenty of desert rough in front of and surrounding greens, as well as sand traps guarding many of the greens. It's a short course that's playable by any skill level, but that significantly rewards accuracy if you want to score well.
The bunkers here do have good quality sand. This course has got a bad rap recently, but you can tell that the new owners are putting some money into the course.
Hotels along the Strip have continually found ways to increase the house edge, and the growth of things like stadium blackjack and electronic blackjack in recent months shows that this trend isn't going away anytime soon. That being said, you can still find some favorable table rules scattered along the Strip. What follows is a brief overview of where to find those advantageous tables with minimums of $25 or less along the Strip. Two quick caveats. One, at many casinos, you're able to find similar odds on higher minimum tables. So here we just focus on the more rare $25 and under tables. Two, at peak times, table minimums will increase. So these aren't offered 100% of the time. First on the list is at the far north end of the Strip at the Strat. Here, you can find up to 6 tables at a time that are dealing single deck blackjack where the dealer hits on soft 17 and the minimum bet's only $10. This table offers a 0.13% house advantage when following basic strategy, which we'll discuss in the next segment. Next is Treasure Island that offers up to 3 tables with a $25 minimum double deck blackjack, stands on soft 17 and a 0.26% house advantage. Amongst the Caesars family of properties, you'll find 6-deck games and on 5 tables at Caesars Palace with a $25 minimum and a 0.55% house advantage, a $10 and a $15 table at Paris with a 0.55% house advantage, and up to 8 $15 tables at Harrah's with a 0.64% house advantage. Amongst the MGM family, MGM Grand typically has 3 $25 tables on double deck blackjack with a 0.46% advantage. Aria can have as many as 20 $25 tables of 6-deck blackjack with a 0.48% advantage. And Park MGM offers up to 4 $25 tables of 8-deck blackjack with a 0.5% house advantage. Strip adjacent is the honorable mention of Ellis Island. They're located a block behind Bally's, and though not on the Strip, they are very close to Center Strip locations. They make the list because they offer the only $5 option in the immediate area, with up to 6 tables dealing 6-deck blackjack with a 0.55% house advantage. If you're planning to play for an extended time, downtown Vegas offers the better options. El Cortez tops the list with numerous tables dealing single and double deck blackjack with $5 minimums and a house advantage from 0.3 to 0.46%. Golden Gate offers $15 minimums on double deck blackjack and 2 tables with a house advantage of 0.46%. And the Downtown Grand, Golden Nugget, the D, Four Queens, Binions, and Main Street Station all generally have tables with lower minimums and better odds than the Strip casinos. Circa, being the new crown jewel of downtown, initially had higher minimums, but now you can find minimums starting as low as $15 during slower times and good odds as well. In most of the properties downtown, you'll be able to find a seat at a table with favorable rules. Similarly, plenty of local casinos have better odds as well, but since these videos are geared towards the casual tourist, we'll keep our coverage to downtown and the...
Finally, some basic do's and don'ts for your trip. Earlier this summer, Play Studios added Tetris to its family of games that provide the chance to earn real-world rewards. If you're already familiar with the Play Studios series of games, this is an incredible addition. If you aren't familiar with the series, then at the end of this video, I'll link to our video explaining how you can redeem loyalty points earned through these games for the real rewards. I'm going to quickly walk you through how to earn loyalty points in the Tetris app and show you just how long it takes so you can determine if the return on time investment's worth it for you. Daily, when you log in, you'll be given the opportunity to claim a bonus. The coins earned are for in-game play, like adding moves to your game without having to watch an ad, but it's the loyalty points that we're focused on here, as that's what you will redeem for rewards. So, with the initial level, we get 250 loyalty points, and then you have the option to claim 2 other bonuses by watching 1 advertisement each. These ads must be fully viewed in order to earn the reward. So here we've earned 750 loyalty points for the day in just over 1 minute of time.
Next, you can earn loyalty points through gameplay and the achievement of goals. So here, we see our first goal of the day is to collect 3 stars, and we'll earn 500 loyalty points. So we go into the game. In this level, the challenge is to score 1,000 points. After completing each level, an ad does pop up, but these are skippable advertisements. So we skip the ad, receive 150 loyalty points for completing the level, and 500 loyalty points for achieving the first goal. Next goal is to earn 10 stars, which will take 4 games. So what's the value of these loyalty points? Well, it depends on what you're redeeming for. In general, the highest value is for coupons like buy one, get one offers, where the value is around 1,000 loyalty points per dollar. The lowest value is for cash, for things like free play, where it's about 5,000 loyalty points per dollar. For comparison's sake, on a recent visit to the Strip, the members of our party each redeemed an average of 565,000 points for an average value of $217 per person. So that's a little less than 2,600 loyalty points per dollar. So for these 4 games, we earned 150 loyalty points for completing each game. That's a total of 600 loyalty points, and then the 500 loyalty point bonus for achieving the goal. Third goal of this day is to play 10 levels. We're keeping the elapsed timer near the top of the screen. This is included so that while we are speeding up the gameplay and ad video, you know exactly how long each of these steps took in our example. Of course, for the gameplay portion, this will vary, because if you're a better Tetris player than me, you can knock these levels out quicker. You may have also noticed that each level provides a different setup and a different objective, whether it's total number of points earned or lines cleared. You also have a limited number of moves per game. This keeps the game fresh as well as helps to make things go quickly. If you want to play traditional Tetris, there is a marathon option available as well. Now, across these levels, we earned another 450 loyalty points, as well as the 500 loyalty point bonus for completing the goal. All total, that's 3,450 loyalty points in just over 30 minutes. If you have 30 minutes a day, then that's over 600,000 loyalty points over a 6-month period. If you only log in and do the 1 minute a day collection of 750 loyalty points for the daily bonuses, then that's over 135,000 loyalty points for a 6-month period. So your totals can add up quickly, even with just a minute a day. If you're combining this across the other Play Studios apps, then you can achieve those 600,000 points that you want for a good trip to the Strip in a very short period of time. Outdated advice that's continually echoed by other sites, avoiding unnecessary expenses and making sure that you're on track for a fabulous time visiting Vegas. That and more in this guide to avoiding mistakes on your trip to Vegas. A top 12-ish list of things not to do. Hello friends and welcome. Vegas is about having a great time, but beyond the things that you definitely should try, here's a list of the thou shalt nots that you definitely want to avoid so that you'll only have great experiences on your visit. Number 1 on our list, don't leave town without a splurge night. Yes, Vegas is a town where a lot of people dress, let's just say, quite casual, and random rascal races can break out at any time. It happens. I'd like to tell you that it doesn't, but it does. Just to be clear, if you're a person who needs an electric mobility scooter, I in no way mean any disrespect to you, but if you're the kind of rebel without a cause whose idea of a good time is renting hover-rounds to see who can run over the most toes in a cannonball run down the Strip, then we probably aren't going to be lifelong pals. Just go, Speed Racer. Go far away and never return to this bipedal land. Back on point, Vegas isn't just a jort's paradise, but there are also a host of fine dining options, upscale bars, and high-end shows that everyone deserves to experience at least once. Take advantage of the money-saving tips that we provide on our channel and use the savings for a dress-up night that will leave you with signature memories for your trip. Don't leave town without a splurge night. Number 2 contradicts a common refrain of other don't do this type videos and articles, and that's don't listen to the avoid airport taxi advice. It's seemingly an echo chamber out there, as this has become a common staple of even recently published advice, but it's simply based on really old information. Back in December 2019, flat rates were implemented for airport taxis, and this avoids any long-haul scams that may have occurred in the past. At times, taxis can be cheaper and quicker than Uber or Lyft as well. Of course, find the transportation option that works best for you, but don't let this common but outdated advice steer you away from the taxi option. Bonus tip 2A, while on the subject of taxis, don't try to hail a taxi on the Strip. If you're used to traveling in urban areas, then the process of hailing a taxi may come natural. But if you do so on the Strip, you're quickly going to become frustrated with taxi drivers simply ignoring your efforts. That's because it's illegal for them to stop and pick you up on the Strip. Taxi stands are available at all the major hotels, so simply go to one of those to secure your taxi. Number 3, don't wait for restaurant reservations. Popular restaurants are, after all, popular. So if you have a place in mind that you're building an itinerary around, go ahead and reserve early, as many of the prime spots will fill up quickly, and nobody wants to spend their Vegas time waiting in a standby line for hours just hoping for the chance to go inside. Number 4, don't underestimate the distances between hotels. Vegas resorts are ginormous. I think that's the scientific term for it. So if you're making your first trip, you might see how properties look close but can quickly turn into working your Fitbit into overtime. So take advantage of things like the monorail and trams between properties when you can, and allow time for rideshare or a cab when you can't. Soon, the Las Vegas Loop will begin opening stations, and that will create additional opportunities as stations come online. 4A is a tip to save your souls. Hallelujah. Keeping the size of the properties in mind, don't forget the comfy shoes. Even if you're taking advantage of transportation options, you'll still do plenty of walking. If your feet are screaming at the end of your first day in Vegas, it can make for a very long trip. So pack the comfy shoes and save your souls. Number 5, don't move things in the minibar. Mini bars are common throughout Vegas hotel properties, and typically the items are equipped with sensors. What this means is that as soon as you pick the item up, it can be added to your room charge. So if you're really in the mood to spend $20 on a fun-sized candy bar, then go ahead and grab it. But if you're just browsing or hoping to make room for your bottled water to fit in the fridge, then you may be in for a rude awakening when you look at your hotel bill. Number 6, don't use ATMs in the casino. If you can avoid it, try to steer clear, as casino ATMs have notoriously high fees. If you need to withdraw cash, ATMs are common at convenience stores downtown as well as on the Strip, and you'll save some of your hard-earned cash by utilizing these. Additionally, if you're going to be doing most of your gambling at one property, see about taking out a marker ahead of time, and that can help you both to avoid traveling with lots of cash as well as to avoid the pitfalls of casino ATMs. Number 7, don't take glass containers outside. Whether walking on Fremont or the Strip, open containers are allowed, but glass is not. So if you're making drinks in your hotel room and taking them along with you, be sure to pour them into a non-glass cup before you leave the room. Number 8, don't stay off Strip if you're planning on doing the Strip. Unless you've seen the Strip plenty and are seeking new opportunities, or if there's a unique reason that you're coming to town, like a conference, convention, location, etc. If you're just trying to save a few bucks and this is your first trip to Vegas, then ultimately you'll spend more on rideshare or cabs than you'll ever save on the room. Furthermore, there's the expense of your time. And depending on where you're at, there's also potential safety issues if you're planning on walking to and from the Strip. So if it's that first trip to Vegas, go ahead and shell out for the hotel located on the Strip.
Number 9, don't pay box office price for tickets. Box office prices are notoriously inflated, but you can easily find tickets for most shows and attractions at significant discounts. If you want tips on how to do so, then see our How to Get Cheap Tickets video that's available on this YouTube channel. Number 10, don't gamble without an exit strategy. Always set yourself a limit for losses and don't go over. Too many people end up ruining their experiences by chasing a win past the point that's financially responsible for their budget. The exit strategy isn't just what your limit is, but also then what's your backup plan if you lose quickly. Maybe a restaurant, bar, attraction, or somewhere else that you have in mind. Having those options will make it easier to walk away if you reach your financial firewall. Number 11, don't jaywalk. Vegas is extremely pedestrian friendly. Whether it's the covered areas of the Fremont Street experience or the numerous elevated crosswalks available on the Strip, the town is built to handle masses of folks walking. However, don't take a shortcut and play human frogger in the streets. Vegas police take jaywalking seriously, and it's a $350 fine if you're caught. Vegas spends a lot of money to keep pedestrians safe, and if you jaywalk, you'll quickly be cutting a check to contribute to those efforts. And number 12, don't forget to drink water. You are, after all, in a desert. Stay hydrated, my friends. It'll make for a much more enjoyable experience. We've raced through our 12 tips. I'd love to hear what you think about the tips in this video via the comments box below. And if you have any tips that we missed, then please add them to the comments as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Further, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and then ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any tips in the future. If there are any resorts, restaurants, attractions, shows, or locations that you'd like to see covered, then please add that to the comments below and we'll get a video published on the topic just as soon as we can. And ultimately, I hope that you have an incredible time visiting Vegas. We'll see you soon.